How's it going, everybody? Jay here from Dan and Jay, and welcome to a brand new series we're calling A Tale of Ash's Friends, a series where we find out if Ash's friends can become Pokemon League champions. Ash Ketchum and his Pikachu have been the main protagonists of the Pokemon anime series since it was originally released in 1997. We watched the 10-year-old leave on his Pokemon journey from Pallet Town and followed him on his travels through the different regions of the Pokemon world. During his journey, Ash has made many friends who are often his travel companion and support system as he strived to be the very best that no one ever was. But we've been so focused on Ash's journey that we never really asked, do Ash Ketchum's friends have what it takes to be Pokemon League champions? Ash actually doesn't win a Pokemon League championship until he finally takes the win in the Alolan region. Yes, after 22 years, he finally takes a win. But can his friends do the same and win the Pokemon League championship in their respective regions? We'll find out in this series. We'll be starting the series off where it all started in the anime, the Kanto region. And for the 0.01% of you that don't know who Ash's travel companions were in the Kanto region, it was Brock and Misty. Welcome to episode 1 of Can Brock Become a Kanto Champion with his original team in the anime. Here are the rules for this run. In battle, I'm only able to use Pokemon that Brock had while traveling the Kanto region with Ash in the anime series. An HM companion will be allowed in the team but will never be sent to battle. The moves I use are limited to the moves that Pokemon was shown to have in the anime series. Pokemon must be added to the team in correlation with their debut in the anime series. For example, Brock receives his Zubat in Mount Moon, so I can only start using Zubat once I reach Mount Moon in the game. Evolutions will also be allowed, but it must also correlate with the anime series. To stay as true to the anime as possible, I will be playing the game in set mode and no items will be allowed in battle. And lastly, no save states. With the rules out of the way, we can get started. Brock receives his first Pokemon Onix from his dad as a present on his 10th birthday. As we go ahead and pick Onix as our starter, we can pretend for a moment to flash back to that morning Brock first meets him. We nickname him Flint after his dad and fast forward 5 years to present day where we have our first battle with our friendly rival Ash. So here is the list of moves that Onix has been shown to have in the anime series. Since Screech isn't on the list, it looks like we can only use Tackle. This is a pretty underwhelming battle. Bulbasaur only tackles me back and uses Growl a couple of times to lower my attack, but with Onix's high defense and resistance to normal type moves, I eventually outlast the Bulbasaur and take the win. After Brock gives Oak's nephew a beating, the professor asks him to run an errand. Since Brock is such a nice person, he agrees. He travels to Viridian City to pick up Oak's package and returns it to him. As a thanks, Professor Oak gives him a Pokédex so that we could do more errands for him. Yay. Brock accepts his gift and moves on, continuing north. Hopefully, we run into our second usable Pokemon soon. We run around the grass in Route 1 and look, what do you know? A Geodude! Still only use Tackle, so I whittled down his HP using that, but since it uses Defense Curl and it resists normal type moves, it gets really hard to whittle down his HP to catchable health. He resists a couple times but finally joins the party. I realize that it's a girl, so I name it Geodet, and that's the second member of the team. Brock continues north and heals his team in Viridian City before heading west to start training for his long journey. He gives Onix one level before switching to Geodude next. Here are the moves that Geodude is shown to have in the anime series. As you can see, I can also only use Tackle, and that'll probably be the only usable move for a while, so I'm stuck with it. I quickly realized that training Geodet is going to be a pain. She doesn't do as much damage as I hoped, and she's definitely not as tanky as Onix and goes down only after a few fights. This is going to be a long training session. Onyx goes out to finish the battle for her before we go back into Viridian City to heal the team. On the way back to the training area, I make the impulsive decision that I'm ready for my rival fight. Boy, was I wrong. He sends out Pidgey first and I send out my Geodet, and there is a whopping 6 level difference. Pidgey starts with throwing sand in my eyes and I can only counter back with Tackle. Pissed off, the little bird starts continuously chucking sand in Geodet's face, and this was the beginning of the end for my little Geodet. Unable to land attacks or take attacks herself, Geodet finally falls to a tackling Pidgey and Onyx is left to do the job. Onyx goes out only 2 levels behind them and I just start tackling away. With my high defense, Onyx is able to withstand a barrage of tackles from both Pidgey and Bulbasaur, and I eventually take the win and gain a level. We continue our adventures up north, and after barely making it out of our rival battle alive, we decide to take training a little bit more seriously. We run around this patch of grass, tackling down all the Pidgeys and Rattatas that we can, and after a few days, we finally get both team members to level 12. Unfortunately, Geodet doesn't learn another usable move, however, Onyx learns too, Bind and Rock Throw. And knowing Rock Throw is going to make Viridian Forest very, very easy to clear. We all remember Viridian Forest as the spot that Ash catches his first Pokemon, Caterpie. Watching Ash's determination to catch Caterpie and his excitement when he does was a heartwarming scene, and truth be told, a pretty dramatic scene that takes us all down nostalgia lane. But sorry childhood memories, we're not here to catch Caterpies today. We're actually here to throw rocks at them and all the other bugs that get in the way. Getting through the forest was fairly easy. We tried to save some Rock Throw PP with the Bind and Tackle combo, but these bugs were shockingly kind of tanky and that combo took forever to take them down, especially the Metapods and Kakunas that appeared and used Harden. Rock Throw pretty much takes care of everything in one hit, but when it didn't, Onyx's tanky defenses kept him from losing too much HP. After battling all the trainers for EXP points, we eventually get out of the forest and try to train a little bit more in the grass patch just outside the city. Of course, I get impatient again and we just head straight into the Pokemon Center, healing our team and prepping them for the first gym fight. We have one fight to take care of before fighting Brock, so right off the bat, we're already doing more than Ash had to in the anime series. Viridian Forest may have been easy to clear, but with a rock versus rock matchup in this gym, we're going to finally struggle a little bit. I take a deep breath as I enter the gym before proceeding to my first fight. He tells me I'm a light year away from fighting Brock, but I guess we'll see. Camper Liam sends out a Geodude first and I bring out my Onyx. I lead with Bind, hoping to dwindle down a little more HP per turn, and Geodude uses Defense Curl, which is really annoying because he's already so resistant to my attacks. He continues to use Defense Curl, so at this point, Geodude is so resistant to all my moves that it doesn't really matter what I use against him. I switch between Rock Throws, Tackles, and reinitiating Bind. This battle probably wouldn't have taken as long as it did if he hadn't curled up so many times. Screech would have been extremely useful right now. Even Geodude with Seismic Toss would have been extremely helpful, but of course, we can't even learn that move in game. At least Onyx is pretty tanky on his own accord, so he does absorb all of Geodude's attacks, and eventually, one health point at a time, I take his Geodude down. He sends out Sandshrew next, and I follow the same strategy that I used with Geodude. Sandshrew leads with Sand Attack, lowering my accuracy, and it's a bit concerning because Rock Throw is already a pretty low accuracy move and I wanted to spam that move for the stab bonus. But the Sand Attack doesn't really affect my eyes and I pretty much land most of my attacks but one tackle. I was worried that Sandshrew had one ground move, but he didn't, and if he did have one, I put him down before he gets a chance to use it. thanks to a devastating critical blow tackle. After losing, Camper Liam proceeds to give me a physics lesson, telling me that light years isn't a time, but it's a distance. I guess that's good to know. I used up a lot of PP and almost half my HP in battle, so I do go back to the Pokemon Center and heal. My team needs to be as healthy as possible for my battle with my evil twin brother, Brock 2. The team that I have for Brock is a level 12 Geodude and a level 14 Onix. Before our fight with the evil twin, let's take a look back at Ash's fight. In the anime series, Ash actually loses his first battle with Brock because his Pokemon was too weak and he was too ignorant. But we won't be the same. We'll win the first time. In the anime series, Ash kinda wins his second battle. After training with Brock's dad Flint, Pikachu's electric attacks get stronger and he is able to take down Geodude with one attack. Onix also goes down after Ash uses Thunderbolt when the sprinklers go off. Ash forfeits this match, saying he won from an unfair advantage, but at the end of the episode, Brock gives him the badge anyway. Unlike Ash, we'll earn our badge fair and square, and if you can do it with an electric type, we can do it with a rock type. Like in the anime, he sends out his Geodude first, and I send out my Onix against him. I'm pretty much using the same strategy I used on Camper Liam. But of course, I missed my first two binds and he uses Defense Curl both times and I pretty much gave him that chance to beef up. My third bind finally lands and he uses one more Defense Curl before we start going on with a tackle battle. He uses Defense Curl 3 more times and maxes out his defense, and you can see how little damage I'm doing. And if it wasn't for bind, I probably would have been tackling this Geodude all day. I do get a little bit worried that he'd use a potion when he reaches red health, but he doesn't and I eventually take him down. He sends out Onix next, and thanks to the EXP I gained from Geodude, I now outlevel his Onix. I'm still going to stick with the bind strategy, but this time I'm using Rock Throw on it, hoping that the stab bonus would at least help to do more damage. My evil brother's Onix cycle through Bind, Tackle, and Rock Tomb, also trying to dwindle down my HP. I honestly start to worry because it really looks like we're pretty neck on neck on how much damage we're doing to each other, but his Onix has the advantage because I've already lost some of my HP to Geodude. I continue to cycle through Bind and Rock Throw, hoping I can dwindle down his HP faster. A critical hit would also be nice, but the game is not that nice. At this point, I thought I was gonna lose, and when he gets me down to red HP first, I thought it was over. But I continue to throw rocks at Onix and bind him, and I eventually get him into the red health too. I somehow take the lead at some point, and Onix finally goes down while I have 3 HP left. Truth be told, I don't know how I pulled off this win, but I'll take the win however I get it, and a newfound respect for the move bind. And with that, we received the first badge, fair and square, from our evil twin brother Brock 2. With the Boulder badge in hand, Brock takes the first step on his journey to the Pokemon League Championships. Tune in for the next episode where we take on the second gym leader, Misty, Brock's girlfriend that's not really his girlfriend but should have been his girlfriend. Until then, this is Jay with Dan and Jay, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.